Hey, hello guys. I'm here today to do a summary of the Edania Part 2, which we are getting this week. We just got the global lab patch note, and I wanted to just go over it real quick and be as fast as possible doing this, okay? So the first topic we're going to talk about is the Edania Bosses. New 4 bosses are being released. We have Agris, Marketanan, Alien, and all. The requirements are down here. It's 405, 485 for Agris, 410, 490 for Marketanan, 415, 495 for Alien, and 420, 505 for all. So you are probably seeing what gear do I need to actually reach these caps. So here I'm gonna send this this shit on the description. But basically, for Agris, if you have Nov weapons, you're gonna need 1 Sep Ecreta or 1 Sep Aperon and the rest X. If you have Oct weapons, you would need 2 Pens and 4 Seps or 2 X's and 4 Seps. The Ecretas and Aperons, we're gonna go over that later, but they are the new accessories we're also getting with this region. For Marketanan, you would need, with Nov weapons, 6 Seps, or then we talked 3 Oct and 3 Sep. For Alien, you would need 5 Octs, and with Oct weapons, you would need 2 Novs and 4 Octs. And then for the last one, All Boss, you need 4 Novs if you have a Nov weapon, or then 1 deck and 5 Novs if you have Oct weapons. As you can see, you don't actually need full deck to reach the current final boss. We are gonna get one more boss, which is a Doom, but that will come only in September. And even that one, if it's 425 EP, you will definitely not need full deck to do that boss, okay? Going back here to the presentation real quick. Obviously, I will be doing guides to these bosses and the Grindzones. They might come like a couple days delayed because I'm going on vacation Sunday, but don't worry, I'll definitely be putting out guides for this, you already know. So let's move on. This is the loot that you get from the bosses. This is the first boss, which is Agris. You get armor stones, all of them give 6. You get some twilights, which we'll go over what this is used for, but it's basically to enhance the new accessories. These unique sparks are basically for a new outfit, the fusion crystals for the decimation crystal, the fragments for the reforged stones, but basically all of this is materials you'll need, okay? And also, another thing I wanted to point out is that, as you can see, Agris gives earrings, while the last one, All, gives necklaces. All of them can drop Aperon accessories, but All has a chance of dropping all of them, while Agris only has a chance of dropping earring. This kind of coincides with the grind spots we're gonna see, where the loot kind of differs from one grind spot to another. So, moving on to the Grindzones, there is 5 new spots, okay? All of them will drop fusion crystals, fragments of nap. This name is probably going to be different on English. They all drop yellow pigments for your armors, and highest tier zone loot, which is basically the purple and red pigments, the corrupt oil, and there's something else that I'm forgetting right now. They also have a drop called remnants of something. It changes from zone to zone. We don't really know what these remnants is gonna do. It looks like some sort of event item that's probably gonna like contain loot inside. Maybe like the box, the limbo box we get in Ulukita, you know. But we are not sure yet what the remnants are gonna do. So looking at the first grind spot, Temple of Froden, the required AP is 400, 20, 90 monster AP. It will drop the Enix Spark Armor, which is the PT you need for the new outfit, but only the chest plate in this case. You will also be able to grind out the 1 Edania Crystal 2.0, which is basically an improved version of the Dusky Ruins. And here you're only gonna drop Twilight and Aperon earrings. You don't drop anything other than earrings here. And if we move on to the next grind zone, in this next grind zone, again, the Enix Spark here is for helmet, not the armor anymore. Instead of a 1, you're gonna be dropping the Bone Edania Crystal. And for the accessories, you're gonna drop earrings and rings, and the AP required is 22, 20. And now, that's the second spot. The third spot is the Magaya Temple, and we have 2340 AP requirement here. The Enix Spark is for shoes, and you're gonna drop earrings, rings, belts, and the Jin Edania Crystal. And finally, the last 3 spots all have the same loot table. It's the Enix Spark Glove, the Edania Crystal. Then you have all the accessory types, and you also start dropping white pigments. This is like the new color that's very sought out. I see that's very popular according to what everyone's been saying. The required AP for this spot is 2455. This is the Temple of a Region. And then you have the party spot, Scales of Judgment, which has basically the same requirements and the same loot table here on the side. This spot looks really cool on the image. I'm really excited for it. Finally, you have the highest grind spot in the game right now, Event Horizon. That's 2570 AP requirement. It's going to drop the spark for all pieces, not just a specific one. And I kind of want to see how this spot is going to turn out. It's actually crazy, the amount of AP you're going to need to grind here. Yeah, that's pretty much all of it for the grind zones. Let's just look at some of the drops that I talked about real quick. This is the Enix Sparks. You need 100 to trade for a piece of the new outfit that they showed on the wall. Then the new Edania Crystal, as you can see, it's 90 AP at 1, 120 at Bon, 150 at Jin, 180 at An. You obviously can't stack this with the Dusky Ruins. You need to completely replace it. But even at 1, it's already better by 30 AP. The most of the art does stay the same throughout the upgrades though. Finally, you also have the fusion crystals I talked about. Those are made to upgrade your decimation crystals, okay? We are getting an upgrade to decimation crystals that are going to increase their AP and back attack damage by a bit with the recipe that you're seeing on the screen. And we also talked about the fragments of depth. Those are for the enhanced reforged stone. You're going to need 30 pieces for each reforged stones. There is 11 reforged stones of each type, if I'm not mistaken. And you need 3 of each technically, so you need a lot of these pieces of fragments of NEP, but you're gonna get them as you grind, don't worry about it, okay? As for the reforged stones, here are the stats. AP gets a +2 upgrade, accuracy +3, etc. I think the smallest upgrades you see are on crit rate, which is only 6, from 5 to 6, and on reforged stone, which is from 0.5 to 0.6. Oh, if you're a PvEer, you probably only need to upgrade 5 of these stones, which is AP, back attack, crit rate, DSR, and crit damage. Okay. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to talk about the accessories. This is like the biggest gear upgrade and introduction to this patch. We have 2 different types of accessories, which is Ecreta and Aperon, but they all grow up to end at the same exact stats, okay? So basically, doesn't matter what path you take, you're gonna end up with the same gear at the end, just a different color. We're gonna look at the Ecreta accessory stats real quick, as you can see. It starts at really AP 43. This is the equivalent to a Nov Karazad, roughly. And then at TET, it's a bit better than that Karazad, gets like a couple more stats, like 1 AP, 4 accuracy, etc. And then it grows all the way to deck. As for the Aperon necklace, as you can see, it starts really low AP, only 24, and then grows quickly. And then at X, it starts matching the Ecreta. So that stats at X up to deck are the same on both sides, besides the accuracy. You get my point. More. How to get the Ecreta accessory. The Ecreta accessory can only be gotten in one way, which is exchanging your current Karazads. If you have a Nov Karazad, you can exchange it for a base Ecreta accessory. If you have a deck Karazad, you can exchange it for a TET Ecreta. Okay? Then, after exchange, you need to enhance it, you need stones. The stones are crafted with this recipe you see on screen, and you need a specific Twilight accessory for the stone you want to craft. So if I want to tap the earring, I need 5 Twilight earrings to craft 1 stone. So each attempt will cost me 5 Twilight earrings, or if I want a necklace, 5 Twilight necklaces, etc. So you are going to be very time-gated on these attempts. Well, not really time-gated, you're going to be grind-gated. by how fast you can drop these items while grinding on the new areas, because that's the only spot you can get them. This is the chances. As you can see, the chance at deck is still quite similar to Karazad, maybe a bit lower even, but it's not like too hard. The problem is going to really be how fast you can drop the Twilight shit. Now, as for Aperon, you need to craft or drop while grinding. You probably won't be able to grind the spots without having Aperon in the first place, so much likely you're going to be looking to craft them if you want them, or just buy them from the marketplace, because the difference between Aperon and Ecreta is that Aperon can actually be put in the marketplace and you can just buy it at any level from the market, okay? Then, to enhance it, instead of stones, you are just going to use other base Aperons as the material. So it's basically the same as Deborah's, right? It's just that they go all the way up to deck, and you can still Grindstone to avoid it downgrading or being destroyed. Also, you need 10 of these Twilight accessories instead of 5. So it does turn out to be a bit more expensive per attempt, I'm pretty sure. I guess it will depend on the price of these items here. So this is the chances. As you can see, the chances, for example, at deck are a bit higher. But it's still overall very similar attempt, right? At the end of the day, if you go do the math, if you pity Ecreta or if you pity Aperon, what's gonna happen is that you are gonna end up doing the exact same amount of attempts. That's how PA balanced the system, is that you would end up using the same amount of attempts by pitting Ecreta or Aperon. So you're probably asking, how many materials do I need to save up for this new region? In the worst case scenario, which is like you're gonna pity all of your accessories, you would need what's on the screen. So if you have more than the materials you have on the screen right now, then you can start selling. You probably won't need more. You won't need more than that, right? I think the biggest, your biggest roadblock, it's definitely the Twilight accessories because of the drop rate. You don't know how fast you're gonna get this, and the Essences of Dawn. Everything else you are gonna get while grinding. For example, the magical shards doesn't matter. They're probably gonna drop in a new spot. You're just gonna get them while grinding in a new spot slowly. You're not gonna run out. Same for the magical light stones. You can get this fairly easily. The 4K, 7.6K or 4K is not that much. That doesn't matter. So the two biggest factors here are going to be Essences of Dawn, and the biggest factor is going to be how fast you drop these Twilight accessories things. As for the crown stones, you need to remember that the Ecreta route does also consider you have a Nov or you have a Nov Karazad minimum, which means that all of this value here of crown stones and stuff does not account the price of pushing that Karazad all the way to Nov. Okay. Let's move on. So you're probably asking, do I go for Ecreta? Do I go for Aperon? What makes sense in the current state? So it's very simple. Aperon is probably going to come out cheaper if you go for it than Ecreta. But if you already have a Nov Karazad or a deck, you should definitely just exchange it for the Ecreta, okay? Apparently you can even change back from base Ecreta back to Karazad. So you can literally just exchange your Nov Karazad, and then once you have some clicks, you exchange it back to Karazad and tap it, and if it doesn't go, you change it. We exchange it back to an Ecreta, and you just keep doing that until you get a deck Karazad. Okay. As for Aperon, you're probably asking, if it's cheaper, why don't I just go for this? The problem is that you don't know how fast you'll be able to get the items. Okay. This is going to hinder your progress by a lot if you're just sitting waiting for items to appear on the market for you to buy and craft an Aperon or enhance the Aperon in the first place. Okay. It's going to take months probably for people to even start selling the Twilight accessories. So what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to grind the new areas that do drop them unless you go for high-level Karazads. So if you're a new player, just keep pushing your Karazads, get the pens, use the hammers, just keep pushing your Karazads to get progression in the game. If you're watching this like in 6 months for some reason, then it's a different story. If the Twilight accessories are already sitting on the market, just look at the price, and it's probably going to be worth in that case to build a Aperon. looks like it's more of a catch-up mechanic for the future than it is a current catch-up mechanic. So I very much recommend new players, mid-game players, end-game players should all go for the Ecreta route, unless the Twilight accessories drop like candy and are just sitting on the market after like a couple of weeks, okay? Anyway, more changes. Really important change is the stacked bracket changes, where basically past 395 AP, they introduce new brackets. So every 2 sheet AP, you're going to get 2 more Eden AP. And for the DP side, every 5 sheet AP, you're going to get 1 Eden DR. That means that you're going to scale your AP a bit faster in both PvP and PvE. It also means that the new accessories are going to give plus 12 AP total and plus 10 DR total at deck versus deck Karazats, which means overall, with the full deck set, you are actually going to have 12 more AP than DR, which is a W for this patch, because we still have problems in uncapped PvP where the DR meta is too strong, and we finally get a bit more AP on a patch over the possible DR gain. For people wondering, at full deck Ecretas, you get 60 DR, 66 evasion, 66 accuracy, and 72 AP. Over deck Karazats, it's an incredible amount of stats. So you can see that, like, how much the gear is scaling up with these new accessories right now. Finally, we're just gonna go over the life skill changes. It's really fast. We got a new life skill artifact. It's on the screen. It's basically just mastery, experience, etc. To craft it, you need one of the Mega Hand fragments that you can get either from gathering these 2 items here, or by exchanging magical lightstones and sharps. The pure magnetite crystals and pure marble are basically metal solvent with items you get from these 2 grind items, which is the marble and the basalt. Finally, you also get 2 consumables. You get the better perfume of swiftness, which is the perfume of greenery, and you get the better Verdudalt, which is elixir of Xiongna. I have the recipes on the sheet, but they are basically using materials from the new region as well. And that's pretty much it for the patch note. I hope that was fast and that you understood what I was talking about. If you guys don't know, I stream on Twitch, link in the description, and I hope to see you around and that you have fun with Edania Part 2, everyone. Bye-bye.